New York Comic Con has a very special place in my heart.
Every year I look forward to Comic Con. The community is awesome. People are super friendly. It's like
you can just be yourself.
It's very exciting to see other people express
It's really special. I mean, I feel like we kind of speak a
It
common
took a while
language
before I realized that I wasn't alone in the world.
It's 100 worlds in one.
It's just home.
Yeah, no.
You hear now? Turn it off. Turn them off. What's up? Okay.
The two outliers.
Yes.
Can we get a quick introduction for the audio?
Parker Posey.
This is Ignacio Serricchio.
This is Parker Posey.
And we're here at Comic Con Parker. Welcome back.
Thanks for having me.
This is a podcast
Our
now?
topic today are thimbles.
Thimbles or symbols?
We could do thimbles or the symbols of thimbles.
I don't follow.
Okay.
Monopoly.
Monopoly.
Let's do this. Ignacio Serricchio. Hi, Don West. And Parker Posey here.
Parker Posey.
Yes. So you two are kind of the outliers in the group here. What kind of and you had a major impact on the family in the first season, and yours you were a little bit off in another story.
Yep.
But now you're all together, kind of stuck all together. What kind of effect are you two going to have on the family Robinson in the new season?
We all become a little bit more reliable on each other. Or we're dependent because this situation is a little more dire as we begin season 2. First season we land on another planet, but there's other people. But by the end of season 1, you realize that I have certain skills, that she poses certain threats, but she also. So there's more awareness of everybody, and because of where we start season 2, you cannot ignore the fact that there's another entity in the ship, and you can't ignore the fact that, you know what, all things aside, I might need that body for something. I might need them here. Hold this. You're the only one that's here. So there's more dependency, which makes it more fun and higher stakes. And it makes it more tense, and especially with her, because they definitely don't trust her, but which is, I think, is something that she has in her favor, right? The fact that they might need you more than they did before.
Speaking of Dr. Smith, can you tell us about? I think it's brilliant the way you.
Thank
bring,
you.
like,
I love it. I love playing it. It's so much fun.
The gray and the different levels of, is she
really telling the truth? Is she? I mean,
she's really misunderstood.
Yeah, she really is misunderstood. I mean, I think because as the outsider to the family, they're all in the spaceship together, so they're all together. But as the outsider, she gets to live out the family wishes that her, she gets to have a family. And I think, on the positive side, it's like, oh, Don West is my brother. Will Robinson is my little brother, and like, hey, I may be kind of bad, but I'm really smart. And if something goes wrong, and then like, a swirl happens, and it's like, see, if I hadn't done that, then you would have been here, and you guys wouldn't be hugging right now, or whatever. So it's, she's the destructive force, that is necessary for all, for the pieces to come together, she finds her own solutions, and they happen with her. She survives by her wits, and she gets to rely on them, and she gets to use it, and to get her way. And I think she goes in and out of, just being a little stinker, just like a bad girl, to having a conscience, and to, she has her own kind of twisted fun.
Are we going to see her getting actually?
Well, she's truly twisted. She's twisted, and that's what villains are. You pity and you fear them at the same time, and you're also you're asked to, as playing a villain, you're asked to bring empathy to your own brokenness, so that the audience can have empathy for your character and be kind of like, oh, but I understand, So they're really fun to play, and we've been talking about this, and it's so fun for actors to play this kind of role. Look at all your nice handwriting.
I don't know about nice, but
I apologize. The sun's in my face.
That's okay. You want to wear my glasses?
That's okay.
So what do you love most about the show? I know it's like very unique. There's like it's a very large production. So I feel like does it ever get like chaotic at times, or just what do you love about it?
It's so adrenalized. There's so much action. There's so much, there's so much movement and physicality. I love that. And there are things to figure out. Thank God for Molly Parker, who plays Maureen, because she really does ask the questions that
she's on top of it all the time.
I couldn't be bothered to even
She'll
think
be like,
of.
no, but I wouldn't be sitting there or whatever. And I was like, oh, I was going to
You're
sit
like,
there.
oh, God, thank God
thanks,
for
Molly.
you. So
it's large scale, but at the same time, it's also small in the sense that it's very symbolic of no matter where you are in the world, no matter what planet, no matter family is family, and you stick together, and you still got to face the person, and you got to deal with things right there. You can never escape your problems. You can never escape differences, and it doesn't matter where you are. It's like you got to deal with it and move on. And it's such a fun show. I mean, it really brings out the kid in you. It brings out, at least for us, we get to play characters that do things that we wouldn't normally do in real life. And that's cool. I mean, all humans want that. You always play with that. You always fantasize about, you watch a robber's movie and you're like, ooh, I want to rob a bank. But it's true, because you want to push yourself. You want to, and we get to do that. Well, at least with our characters, we get to push them and kind of, because they're so mysterious, that it allows us to create our own little secrets that not even the writers know, and the audience definitely doesn't know. It's more for us to have fun and to...
But Don has a lot of layers. I mean, he's like put on a lot of layers of armor to kind of protect himself, I guess.
Sure, yeah.
Are we gonna see some of those layers peeled?
Yeah. You see some layers peel. Some.
Yeah.
Due to he's a product of his environment. So, and he adapts. He's been a survivor his whole life. So. He goes with the flow, but always aware that he's number one. Him and Debbie now, because she's become such a big part of it. Yeah.
If I went along with that previous question as well, what are some of those other what are some characters that you've seen that you drew a little bit of inspiration from? As
talk, and I'll try to do that.
Sure, no problem. I'll take one with no thing. What characters I've drawn inspiration from? I've drawn inspiration from I would say my teenage years. where I used comedy and I used wit and jokes to try to protect myself and not reveal that I was being bullied, for example, like constantly, and that I was trying to figure myself out. I was having identity crisis because I was in this international school, first international school, and I noticed that all the girls liked all these tall white guys with blue eyes and blonde hair, and I was like, and I was questioning myself. I was questioning my creator, thinking, why'd you make me brown? Because I grew up thinking that being brown was a bad thing. I mean, that's what happens in our cultures, unfortunately, right? We're a product, right? You're born thinking, oh, you're black, you're brown, oof. And then, so I used wit, and I had to develop a personality. I had to develop humor to try to hide that and to try to protect myself and to try to fit in. I wasn't going to do it I thought I was going to do it with the way I looked, and I wasn't going to do it with any kind of financial status. So I was like, I need to develop a personality. I need to be smart. I need to develop skills too. I need to develop skills, like manual labor skills. So I worked in a lot of manual labor. So, and kind of like Dawn, I learned how to do mechanic stuff. I learned how to build things. But it was all to kind of feel like, since I felt like I couldn't give the world anything else, I was like, okay, I need to, and I wasn't getting any other girls. And I was like, okay, I need to develop a personality. No, it's true.
So you're saying you build physical toughness to cope with mental toughness?
I developed skills. I was like, I want to become a resourceful person. I saw my grandfather would build stuff with their hands, and I was like, that's what I got to do. And I wanted to develop a personality, so I started learning languages, and I wanted to become someone interesting. So I was like, well, if being brown isn't going to do it for me, if I'm getting bullied, then I got to become interesting.
How did you get to acting? Yeah, of course.
Not until after high school. I never thought that acting was a career. I thought people got discovered, and I never saw this on screen, except Andy Garcia, maybe.
Appreciate that.
I appreciate you guys. Thank you so much, Ryan.